Tonight, Castries Mayor Peterson Francis says he's not eyeing the Castries Central seat. Instead, his eyes are on Castries South, represented by Dr. Hilaire.
Right now, right now, if there's any seat, and if the opportunity presents itself, I'm looking at, I know Councillor Brown would not like to hear that, but I'm looking at Castries South.
The Prime Minister is called the ultimate salesman, and it's not a compliment. And parents say they are not buying what the Education Ministry is selling with its assessment of mold and air quality at schools on island. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Friday, the 8th of November 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow Channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM Radio. You can watch on our website www.caribbeanhottv.com or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, finally hints at where he might be eyeing for the next general election. Whilst Francis continued to act coy on the matter, he revealed that he would most likely run for the Castries South seat. He says at the moment he is still in transition. Rochelle Gonzalez begins our reporting.
After months of speculation and playing on words, the mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, has added more fuel to talks of him running for a parliamentary seat in the next general elections. In a sit-down with Hot 7 News, Mayor Francis named the constituency that he has set his sights on.
Right now, right now, if there's any seat, and if the opportunity presents itself, I'm looking at, I know Councillor Brown would not like to hear that, but I'm looking at Castries South.
The mayor indicated that he is following in the footsteps of many government ministers who have gone before him, ministers who successfully moved from the city council to parliament. He said he is in transition but is very close to his destination.
It starts from here, and if you look at here, you'll find that a lot of ministers, a lot of government or people who have gone through politics came from here. To mention a few, we had George Mallet, we had the Bristol brothers, we have Julian Hunt. You know, all these people pass through here. And so here should really be a breeding ground and not a threatening ground.
Castries South is currently being represented by Dr. Ernest Hilaire. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The SLP's first deputy political leader, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, laments that Prime Minister Alan Chasney has, according to him, mastered the art of a sales pitch. He views as nothing more than fluff and bluff the pronouncements made by the Prime Minister. He says a closer inspection of the various sectors paints a very different picture to what the Prime Minister touts.
The Prime Minister is just a salesman, nothing more than that. And he's a very good salesman at it. And therefore, you know, we will have a very difficult time because there you will have somebody who will shamelessly look at you in the eye and tell you again, there's no crime in St. Lucia. I've reduced crime. Don't you see it? Even when you know it's not been reduced, who will look at you and tell you, all the schools are better now. Even when you have free schools in the month of October, having to close down because of the conditions of the schools.
Dr. Hilaire was firing on all cylinders and admitted that it is a tall order for the St. Lucia Labour Party to counter the Prime Minister and the grandiose plans he proposes.
Who will tell you that all is well and we are booming in this country, when I can just take you to walk along this road and the amount of young people there who will tell you when Labour was at this, we used to get a little step, we used to get a little something. Now they have nothing, it's only a few benefiting. Who will tell you, I'll build 10 hotels. Even if he told us he would build 5, 3.5 years ago, and not one has commenced. And he will shamelessly do so and look at you in the eye and dare you to believe otherwise. I mean, look at Trump. Trump does it very well too. So there's a whole new generation of leaders in this world that seem to have refined those qualities, and our Prime Minister is just another one of them.
The government, for its part, has said that it makes no apologies for its grand vision and plans for St. Lucia and argues that it is well on its way to delivering on the promises made to the electorate in 2016. Well, no matter how hard he tries, Dr. Ernest Hilaire cannot shake persistent speculation that he wants to be the next Prime Minister. That would be problematic given that Philip J. Pierre is the current SLP leader and has made it clear that his aspirations to govern are still very much alive. Does Dr. Hilaire think his current leader is lacking in any way? And is it a void that he can fill? He spoke candidly on Hot 7 TV's The Hot Seat. Is Philip J. Pierre the best person to lead the SLP? He certainly has the confidence of his constituents. He has been re-elected to the Castries Southeast seat on 5 consecutive occasions. But as the new political leader succeeding Dr. Kenny Anthony, there has always been talk of Pierre being leader by default and not necessarily the leader of choice. It must be noted, however, that he was unopposed for the position of leader at the party's Conference of Delegates, which suggests that he does have the confidence of the party's delegates. The man who is said to be the biggest threat to J. Pierre's reign at the helm of the party has provided his assessment of Philip J. Pierre as a leader in comparison to former leader Dr. Kenny Anthony. Dr. Ernest Hilaire appeared as a guest on The Hot Seat with Trisha Lionel.
Friends, Dr. Anthony has presence. He can speak. He can, charm people. He can sway them. He can lead you down an argument, a discussion, and he can engage you, and he's very good at it. Philip J. Pierre is probably more technocratic. Philip J. Pierre, every time he's been a minister in government, has probably been the outstanding minister. Philip J. Pierre is more managerial. He's not, the best public speaker. He himself has said it. He rather stammer the truth, than lie eloquently. He's probably not the most charismatic person and physically present. He's not a great salesman. He's not a great marketer. But then Philip J. Pierre, when he sits with you and you discuss an idea with him and how best to implement it, how best to get certain things done, is different. But you don't see that in press conferences. You don't see that in town halls. You see that in the working sessions.
Dr. Hilaire says what Philip J. Pierre has achieved in politics is stellar by any standard.
Just think about it. This is a man who's won a seat 5 times. He's been able to create trust, loyalty, belief in him to win 5 times. He's been able to connect with people, relate to people, generate trust 5 times. Trust me, it's not easy to do it. I've done it once, and it was a brutal experience. He's done it 5 times.
But should J. Pierre by now be stepping aside? Succession or lack thereof remains a talking point and concern in Caribbean politics.
Philip J. Pierre is the longest serving parliamentarian. He's gone on to almost 30 years as a parliamentarian. Longer than Kenny Anthony, yeah? Because Philip served as a senator before he became elected.
But maybe that's a problem as well. Do you think that there should be a point where people who have spent that much time in elective politics should be able to step down?
No, I agree. I believe in organizations you need to have regeneration and to re-energize organizations. And you should never stifle an organization. But the point I was making is the qualities of the person to be able to connect with people, for them to repeatedly, over and over, show their trust in him.
It is Dr. Hilaire's view that Philip J. Pierre has what it takes to lead the party to victory if a snap election were to be called ahead of the constitutionally due deadline of 2021. So, should Dr. Ernest Hilaire challenge Philip J. Pierre for the leadership of the SLP? He has said that he does not think this is part of his grand design. But political pundits have argued for years that he is the future of the party and was handpicked to succeed Dr. Kenny Anthony. Of course, none of this has ever been confirmed, but is it worth exploring for Dr. Ernest Hilaire? Should he make a play for the leadership of the party ahead of the next general election? Here is what you had to see.
In person, telling you, I don't want Hilaire to be my prime minister, and he's fighting JPF for this seat. And I know that, and you can see it in his eye when he's talking. You can see that. He's talking a vicious talk.
To me, I find he could leave it the same way it is. Yeah, let's just leave Philip J. Pierre as the leader. That's my opinion on that.
No, I do not think Dr. Ernest Hilaire should challenge Philip J. Pierre for the leadership of the Central Labour Party, because we do know that Philip J. Pierre has had the experience before being a minister. Okay, whether minister or not, he has the experience of being a parliamentarian. He has been a minister for a long time, and Dr. Ernest Hilaire has not been a minister of government. And definitely, we are satisfied with the job which Philip JPA is doing. But that doesn't mean that if the St. Lucia Labour Party wants to make Dr. Ernest Hiller leader of the party, that I would disagree to that. But I think he should wait. His time will come. The important thing is if they can try and win the election, and then any other thing.
To be honest, I have not heard it. I'm not saying no, that's not true. But if I was in his place, I would certainly challenge anybody as a leader. Who doesn't want to be a leader? A leader is a person who knows what their followers want, you know. And if you think you have what it takes to lead, you should go at it. And I'm in full support of whatever he wants to do in that direction. I wish him well, and I think he should keep aiming to the top. Good move. You go for it, Hiller.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I strongly believe he's challenging him for the leadership of the party. I strongly believe, and if we live in a democratic country, there is nothing wrong with that.
Well, my views on that, if it's Ernest Hiller's choice, go and try to see what he can do.
No interest. I'm not backing nobody.
Ernest Hiller.
Hiller, I think, is a little more adverse and a little more foreign exposed to Philip JPA.
I think that if he takes over the seats, I think he will be able to do just the same job as Mr. Philip JPA, because I think he's a good leader. He writes good thoughts and good things. There's a lot of good things that comes out from.
Those were your views. And again, just to reiterate, Dr. Ernest Hiller has made it clear that he supports Philip JPA, and for now he is focused on proving himself to St. Lucians. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, cause of fire undetermined. The fire service says constraints are hampering the proper investigation of fires. Raising awareness about World War I vets, Haynes Cyril shares his story of survival. And parents of students at the Anthropo Secondary School say they're searching for real answers. These stories and more after the break.